Okay, here we go. Freestyle Friday number 9.
Hi guys, LMA here, and welcome to episode 6 of my Hull City career mode series. As you can see on the screen by your side, I am going in looking at some players to buy for my Hull City, for the team on deadline day. So I'm trying to offer Nikici Jelavic for, well, a load of players, as you can see here, Charlie Austin, players like that, because I think Charlie Austin's a great striker, he's a good striker. It's just I want a different striker that would be able to score a lot of goals for us this season, as Nikici Jelavic just isn't, he just doesn't seem like he's going to score many goals for the club. So I want someone in who will, be able to score, 10, 15, 20 goals for the club. So, that's why I want a player like him. And now we're going in to look at another great young talent, which is Emmanuel Mayuka, who is, I was looking at Shane Long first, but I don't know, I just didn't really want Shane Long, so yeah, but I'm looking at Emmanuel Mayuka, seeing if I could get him by, doing a swap deal with, Southampton for Nikici Jelavic for him, which I think would be a good deal, but I don't know, it just depends on whether they want to do a transfer deal with me, because if they could, then, I'd be very happy, but it just depends on whether they want to do a transfer offer, basically if they want to do a swap deal with him to get Mayuka. But anyway, we're just flicking through the Championship, seeing if there's any cheap strikers to get in the Championship, and I'm looking here at Derby, looking at, Leon Best and Chris Martin, because they in real life they scored, Chris Martin at least scored something like 18, 20, 25 goals last season in the Championship, which, although it's not the Premier League, which if he scored 25 in the Prem it would be fantastic, but still in the Championship to score 25 plus goals is a pretty good thing, considering some of the defence in the league are quite hard to break down. It's very hard to get out of that league. So, but I'm looking for an ex-Premier League striker from recently relegated Norwich. That is Gary Hooper, the ex-Celtic striker. I think he's a good striker. I'm sure he scored about 5 or 6 goals in the Prem last season. But, he's a good physical player who I think probably do well in the Premier League, as a striker. And then I'm looking at the 21-year-old brilliant striker called Britas Ombolonga, who I think is, one of the greatest young English strikers, but he's not been recognised much, as he is, he plays for Notts Forest, but if he came to the Prem, then maybe he'd get more recognition than what he does now, because, I think he's a good quick striker. He's good at finding space, good at getting in the box, and he's worth the money, that you probably get to pay, but I don't know, it just depends on whether, teams would want to, not Forest want to get rid of him, but I guess I just didn't really want to offer him I just really didn't want to offer him a transfer deal, so, yeah, but sorry if I made that sound like it was third person. I'm actually speaking this first person, but And now I'm looking at Eredivisie. For Ajax, going in. I think Coban Sigurdsson, he's a good. Sigurdsson, he's fantastic. Looking into some decent young players. I mean, there's the ex-Fulham striker, Wame Tankovic. Basically, I'm just going to go through most of the leagues and see if I can buy a striker who is worth coming to the club, because who's got potential. It's probably it's got to be younger than 30, but it's still got to be a decent all-round player. It's around 70 to sort of 75 rated, because that's where you probably get the best players out of, because it's going to take a lot of money otherwise to get a player that's like 82 plus, something like that. That's why I was just flicking through all the different teams. I mean, going into AC Milan now, looking at Fernando Torres, here we're just going in looking at looking through the Serie A, looking for some players like Francesco Totti, but I think he's 30 cents, so maybe not. But I was looking at sort of players like Sano, who's 32, Muriel, but I think it's Muriel, I don't know, he'd be a bit more expensive than what our price range would probably go for, but I still put a bid in just to see if maybe we could figure out a deal, but we have no funds at all. So basically we haven't got a chance to, buy a player from anywhere that's got a player that's not worth what Jelavic is worth, because if you can get pretty much a like-for-like deal in price-wise, then it would be better for us than having a player who would not fit our bill, or would be too expensive because we couldn't sign him. Because I wanted to try and find a player who's quicker and better. That's why I was looking for Yassine Chikawi, the 5-star skill, 5-star weak foot striker, who I haven't actually used on this game yet, so I wanted to see if I could buy him. I wasn't sure about his price, but I think a player with 5-star skill, 5-star weak foot, and good overall stats in and around the player, I think he'd probably be worth quite a bit. But I don't know, I'll just have to see. I just want to buy some players. We're actually going into the deadline day now after looking at all the players we have, and the only transfer we've actually got accepted is Wolves, who accepted for Juha Deco, but that's the only player. QPR won $4.5 million. Nobody wants to sell the players by Wolves, who I offered Yannick Sagbo and Juha Deco, who I think he's a good young striker. He's a good young striker. I think he's quick. He's good at finding space, but it's just I don't really think that he'd be worthy of joining the club as a sort of as the first choice striker. He'd do all right as a backup striker, and as you can see, he joins the club here now. But I think that really he'd be a decent addition to the club in the long run. So yeah, but welcome to Hull City, Juha Deco. I was very happy with that transfer, so but now as you can see, we've sold one of our players, so we've got a bit of money in the kitty. So I just decided to go back into some of the players I wanted to look at. Like Mayuko, I was looking at £700,000 plus Jelavic. We'll see if we could get him in as my second choice striker, but behind Abel Hernandez, of course. Same with Gary Hooper. Just tried to offer the money for Gary Hooper, but it just depends on who I really want to look for. There's a lot of strikers up there that are quite decent, or of a better sort of quality than what I think Jelavic has to offer for Hull City. So it just depends on whether I can find the right striker for the right amount of money to join the club, but it just depends on whether I can. I hope I can, because that'd be great. Adding someone like Nikishi Jelavic to the club would be a great addition to me to the club. So just depends on whether I can find a striker. Now I'm going in for the Watford striker, Troy Deeney, who I think I did a Watford career mode on FIFA 13. I didn't put it up on YouTube because I didn't have the software at the time. But when I did that career mode, Troy Deeney scored a good 20 goals in his first season, and he was very, very good. So I thought I'd try and re-sign him on FIFA 15 just to see, whether he'd be able to. But they want 1.6 million for Troy Deeney, so I'll offer him the 700,000 that I have, just seeing if I can get an acceptance. Basically, see if they can accept the offer. I don't know. I don't think they will, because they do want 1.6 million for him. But I personally feel that maybe getting someone who's of his sort of type would be a good deal. As I think he's a decent striker. I think he's definitely worth every single penny. If we can get someone like him, or him himself. And as you can see, we're going in to look at Horace Core and Kieran Clark. Kieran Clark first. I'm going to offer him somewhere in the region of 1.4, 1.5 million. Oh no, because I opted on another career mode in the Football Plus, I thought, you know, well, I'm thinking now 1.2 million would be, you know, a decent enough offer for him, as he's, you know, he's a good centre back. So, you know, and then we're just going in for Corey as well, because I think that you know, he's a great centre back, Corey, and I think that he is definitely for this team, as he's, you know, he's a strong, quick centre back. So I just give him an offer as well, just to, you know. But yeah, because I feel that Corey is like a really good young centre back. He's strong, he's quick, he's pretty much everything that Michael Dawson is, because he's 30, which is not really old for a centre back, but because he's, you know, he's quite slow, he's just not good at, you know, tracking back. Because where I want my centre backs is to basically be going forward and tracking back, yeah. And now I'm looking at, well, see who Leicester have got to offer, because I'm thinking that, well, Liam might as well sign Liam Moore, because he's a good centre back, and they're offering him 1.2 mil, you know, and because he's a great centre back, you know, and he'll only be worth about £1 million, so just depending on how, you know, whether there's someone else. And as you can see, I'm looking into Wes Morgan, because he's a decent centre back as well. I mean, he is Leicester's captain, so might as well go in for him. Basically, I'm just looking through the Premier League now, looking for a centre back, because if I can get a centre back that's in the Premier League, that's quick, moderately young, maybe like, I don't know, 22 to 28 years old, then I can get him and get him, you know, within the 1.4 million that we've generated from a sale, which I didn't show in the last clip, but we generated a sale of 1.2 million, something like that, and so we got an extra bit of money, and so we're just going in for a centre back. So, you know, that's why. So yeah, I'm just looking into, basically just flicking through the league, seeing if I can find a good centre back, because we really do need another centre back, and I think that someone, you know, a young centre back who, I don't know, well, a young centre back would be the way forward for the defensive team, because if teams coming at us with quick strikers, then yes, we have Curtis Davies who's a good centre back, but we haven't got, you know, a quick. The other centre back isn't quick, so if, like, say we get a ball into the box and you know, and it gets cleared by Davis, hits one of their teammates, they pass it in, and the only player that's back is Michael Dawson. He won't have a chance to get the ball back, so I guess we're just going to have to find someone. But going into the last 2 hours of this transfer window, seeing if we can buy a centre back, but here we go, it's two. Well, got offers here for Maya Yoshida or Liam Moore, 2 transfer offers, and the rest, you know, I'm just going to reject, because these are the 2 really I want to look at, because I think that they're the best, you know, the best centre backs we could get. So I'm offering a squad rotation, squad rotation player deal for Liam Moore, and then I'm going to offer Maya Yoshida the same, because you know, I think he's worth that, or maybe even Cruz Martin, but I think he deserves to be squad rotation player. But I'll offer him important first team, just in case he doesn't sign, because he isn't an important first team player at Southampton. So, you know, I think that's why I prefer to, you know, do that for him, because he's a better player. But yeah, we've got transfer offer. Oh, I don't actually have the funds to pay for Yoshida, but I think I'm going to prefer to buy Yoshida first, but I'm not sure. I might go for more. I'm really not sure what to do. Because if I can buy Yoshida, then I would, but the thing is, I can't buy Yoshida because I don't have the money. I just realised that, oh well, I mean, I've still got Liam Moore, who is a fantastic young centre back, so, you know, I might as well do that. But as you can see, bang, transfer deadline day short. That'll be the end of the video. Thanks for watching, guys.